I'm hearing that song. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie 'em in a knot? Can you tie 'em in a bow? So I don't know, something about donkeys? Eight of Swords in the reverse. Donkey. Donkey and elephant? Is this something political that you're being untied from? Let's get more on this. Eight of Swords in the reverse would be getting out of some sort of a mental trap. And by politics, this doesn't have to be like, red, blue, Democrat, Republican. This can be like politically minded, politically fueled points of view. Yeah, with the devil. Things that have been keeping you bound and trapped to fears and insecurities with the Five of Coins. Let's look into this more. What is this Eight of Swords in the reverse, please? I want to take the devil out because I feel like there's really something to that. It's like you were being pulled in two different directions. Again, it could be something political. I'm also seeing shh, like to keep silent on something. Maybe like one aspect. Yeah, we have the scales of justice with Libra. I feel like Spirit is saying the answer to this mental trap, it's coming through as like a complex mental puzzle. I'm seeing my neck cracked when I did that. Yeah, like something's gonna open and unlock. Something is gonna balance out in your mind. You're gonna understand something to where it's not going to be like you're pulling yourself apart in order to maybe make both sides happy, whatever that means. So we have Capricorn and Libra. Those signs could be significant to you or to those involved in this situation. We have the Page of Wands here. I feel like Spirit is asking you to be brave and childlike to jump into this new cycle is what I'm getting. You could be shedding habits at this time with the devil. And this could be anything. This could be like compulsive behaviors. This could be too much of something, too little of something. This could be codependency, drugs, alcohol, too much porn, whatever this is. With the Nine of Swords, making you feel, I'm hearing trapped within the schematics of your own mind. I'm seeing that that painting. It's called Relativity. It's the one that has all of the different staircases, and one is going that way, one is going this way. And at first, when you look at the image, I'll put it up here. At first, when you're looking at the image, it kind of seems like it looks normal. But then as you look at it closer, it gets more complex. It's like there's one part of the image where there are two people going down the same staircase, and yet one person's going down and one person's going up on the same staircase. There's some sort of a mental puzzle here with the Eight of Swords in the reverse that you are getting out of. And see, it's like this person's being held up, like held hostage. And with the devil here, I'm hearing this is a breakout. This is a breakaway. This is a breakaway. Can I have more on this? I feel like this is the call of your inner child with the Page of Wands to come more toward the middle of the road on something. Like, don't be black or white. Don't be pulled apart in two different directions. Like, these are people. It's like being split in two. It almost feels like kind of a possession where, like, you don't have... It feels like this energy with the Eight of Swords. It's like you don't have a choice, or you feel this way. Like, you don't have a choice, and that's why the Devil's here. Something's controlling you. But something is going to happen with this Justice energy where, see, there's two elements here as well. The scales of justice, balance. But it's more like you are observing. This is you back here observing the separation between the two things as opposed to you are the two things. Does that make sense? And it's almost like there's this ominous figure back here. I don't like this energy. It makes me feel like spiritual handler sort of stuff. It's something about coming into a place of observation. Like, you know how any of the great meditators talk about this, where when we're meditating, it's about sitting back into our own selves in an observant position. And the word position keeps coming through, like, in terms of, like, a political position. Again, it doesn't have to be literally politics, guys. Especially because I don't only have people in the U.S. that watch me. I have people that are from other countries as well. And there's nothing like American politics, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever. Even the cards are like, yeah, we don't even want to talk about it with the Ace of Pentacles. We're going to stay out of it. Because the cards are universal, right? The cards are not one thing or another. This reading is giving me the quote, it's not either or, it's both and. See how I did this motion again like I did at first? It felt like instead of you being split in two, like your soul being kind of like almost inhabited by another force that's like this puppet master with the strings. It's more like you're becoming this observer where you still are able to understand both sides of something, but you are not the one that's being torn, right? Yeah. Judgment. You could be like a spiritual judge, especially with Libra here with the scales. You could be like somebody who has, you know, a spiritual authority and a spiritual opinion and people trust in you, and yet I feel like you have to pick a side, and it's almost like a stick up, like it's like you're being not bullied, but like threatened. Like you have to pick a side. This could even be like between masculine and feminine, like even like down to bro culture and stuff like that. With the Queen of Cups, like maybe you have a more sensitive soul and you feel like, well, you know, in order to like get women, I need to act this way. And there are so many people that talk about that online, right? Same with the other side, where it's like, this is how we like attract men and seduce men, essentially. And I'm not, again, see, I take this approach where I'm the observer. I look at both. I understand both. I have a balance of both. But we can get in this mental trap where it's like, can we just, and it doesn't have to be this is just an example. It's like, can we just like go play on the freaking playground, dude? And the playground can be a sex dungeon for all I care in the basement. You know what I'm saying? It's that playful curiosity of life, as opposed to it being like, we think that we're controlling a situation by like picking sides on whatever sides this could be. This could be in any area, right? We think we're going to have the control so that we don't get hurt and that things don't turn in on us. But the irony is that when we try to control things, we're actually the ones that are being controlled. Like, look at that image. I just keep coming back to that. There's some sort of a judgment call happening here. I'm hearing like, what am I hearing? It's like the moment of reckoning, or it's like a wrecking ball. Like maybe you're having a tower moment where you're starting to realize like, wait, do I even really feel that way? Like maybe you've been stuck in, yeah, as I said, stuck. Wow, Two of Swords at the bottom. Let me show you the images. We have the Two of Swords and the Four of Coins, which are two cards of being stuck. But they're two different sorts of stuckness. Wow, and the Knight of Coins too, which is like slow, not moving. It's kind of like a one of those big rocks in the woods. And there is a time for this energy. Like if you have this as a skill to be a Knight of Coins, to me, it's like the phrase when somebody says, they're my rock. Remember how I was saying before? That reminds me of The Rock, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, big dude. Makes me also think of like, what was I saying before? Sorry, there's a lot coming through, guys. Yeah, like you could feel that way. And you know what? I don't judge you for that. Because I can see both sides. And I understand both sides. But it's a trap to think that we have to choose anything, really. There is no choose. Choice is an illusion. When we try to be in control. Like, look how unhappy those people look. You know what I mean? But remember what I was talking about those stairs? I'll put down below the name of that painting. But I know it's called Relativity. It's a famous painting. I feel like you got trapped in something. And you're pulling out. I'm also seeing this another way. It's like you're like pulling yourself out. It's like I'm seeing like all this slime. I'm seeing you like coming out of an egg. Like you're coming out of an egg and it's pulling this stuff apart. It's pulling like certain ideas apart. Excuse me, that you held, I'm hearing dear to your heart at one point, because maybe it brought you a certain level of success in some areas, but then, you know, and as I'm saying success, Six of Wands is here. You know, like say for example, this Knight of Coins, yeah, the Emperor. This is going to prove everything I'm saying. The Emperor with the Six of Wands. Oh, baby. Yeah. That's, not everything works the same in every area. You know, sometimes what made you super, super successful, Emperor, Six of Wands in one area, in love, could be the thing that, it's like, for some reason, why am I seeing these two people in like couples counseling and they're like giving up on their marriage? This is like the last straw and they're like giving up on their marriage. It's like, this is very impressive. But the Queen of Wands here, this could also be like a third party thing. Not for everybody, but for some. With the Five of Coins, maybe it's like this mindset. Let's just say it's like bro culture, for example. Let's just say that, right? Because we know what we're talking about when we say that, right? I'm queer. Do you know what I mean? Both sides to me, neither really truly makes sense to me personally. So I'm speaking from like a different side, third point. I'm not really speaking from either side, but anyways. This is very impressive. you can't deny that how impressive that is. Emperor, Six of Wands, right? Whether you're male, female, however you identify. This is an impressive energy that will be praised and probably has been praised. So I feel like there's a side of you that's like, well, then why do I feel in the Five of Coins? Or why did I feel like I had to feed my kind of insecurity with maybe like a side piece? And it doesn't have to be that for everybody. Side piece doesn't have to be a person. It could be an experience. It could be a drug with the devil. It could be, you know, like detaching emotionally, like from your marriage, for example. So in terms of signs here, and then I'm gonna like say something else. In terms of signs, we have Capricorn with the devil, we have the Justice card, Libra, and we have the Emperor, Aries. So we do have an axis going on here. This could be having to do with the difference between 1st and 7th house themes, the self, and the relationship. It's like, on one hand, if this is a relationship, on one hand, Six of Wands, Emperor can make you very rich, successful, impressive. On the other hand, if you come into a relationship with the same energy, it can be selfish, domineering, controlling, only cares about one thing. Could also be sexual too with the Queen of Wands, where it's like it's not love, it's sex or lust. You know, which is why we probably have the Page of Wands here, where this stuff can dip into, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm saying this is the trap that we're breaking. And this is not about gender, guys. You know what I mean? I've been on both sides of all of this shit. And it is a mental trap. So let's go into this a little bit further. But the same thing that got you somewhere could be the same thing that actually tears you apart in another area. See, and that's why it's a trap, because it seems so good. What am I hearing? Oh, baby, when it hurts so good. Hurts so good. It's like hurts so good. It's like something when something hurts so good. There's a sadness in that. From this vantage point, I'm not saying the song, you know, the song is a fun song. I'm just saying it's kind of like, look, this guy almost looks like, can you see his face? It almost, like, in the upright, it kind of looks like it kind of looks like he's on a mosh pit, or like the crowd at the concert is picking him up and he's being carried across the top of the crowd, and he looks like he's having fun, and look at all this, like, you know, partying aspect around him. But then in the reverse, it kind of looks like he's crying, he's suffering, he's in pain. So the same thing that brought him that rock star moment with the Emperor and the Six of Wands is the same thing that makes him feel in a box, alone, more insecure than ever, like suffering in another area, right? Not everything is flatline. I'm hearing that song, Flatline Bling. What is it? Is that the name of it? Flatline. That doesn't sound right. I don't know why that's coming through. Somebody let me know in the comments what that song is. Anyways, the point is that it's not about either or. It's both and. Like, it's good to have Emperor, Six of Wands in some areas. And then in other areas, it's good to be... It's like, it's good to be the inverse as well. That's just as important. Can I get more on this? Because we do have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands down there. I mean, this could be like a family and an uncle and, you know, a child, a couple, a child, like an uncle or a brother, like Ten of Coins, which is like legacy, family, big business stuff, like... Can I have more on this? And take this allegorically, guys. It doesn't have to be like literal. There's something happening with the tearing apart of the ego so that we can dissect it and look at it. Like I'm seeing, it's like the two aspects are being torn apart and then set on a table to be observed with this Libran energy. Like it's so that we can observe what happened here, and that's what helps us get out of the mental trap, right? It's so that we can understand what led us here. How did we get here? Oh, what I was saying about the flat line though is like, that's like when you're dead, right? If you're hearing that sound in the hospital bed, that's not a good sign. That means the patient's gone. If you're seeing that in the stock market, you know, well, it could be argued. Whatever. See, when you're talking about money, King of Coins, Ace of Cups, these are two different spheres, right? If you're talking about a big stock like Apple that doesn't really go up or down that much because it's such a behemoth of a stock, King of Coins, that it's actually a good thing that it's kind of like quote unquote flatlined because it means that it's like actually an immovable force. So I feel like that's just yet another example of like, see, in one area, that's a good thing, but love ain't stocks. Love isn't business, right? It's like learning it's learning how to move between energies for different things in different areas of our lives. And that's an art. And for a lot of us, it's actually a mental puzzle that needs to be unraveled because we've been taught certain things like, you know, Ace of Cups, men don't cry, or, you know, don't be too, with the Fountain and the Ace of Cups, don't like be too much for people. Like if it's more on the feminine side, like you're being too much, you're offering too much. Like make sure, like I see stuff on TikTok all the time that women say things like, you know, don't be like too nice to your man because he'll cheat on you then. It's like, okay, so we can't have an open, honest, vulnerable relationship and we expect to be together for 50 years? Like, good luck is what I would say to that. Good luck. Good luck building a legacy on that, right? Can I have anything else? Personally, I feel like most of that is bullshit. Seven of Coins, which is see that I knew this reading was about a tower moment with the tower at the bottom of the deck. Well, it's a tower moment meaning something might have spurred, somebody might have like walked away from you, or you emotionally detached from a situation because it was like too much for you, or you felt like you didn't know how to maneuver something from another angle, perhaps, like we've been talking about which put you in a place of sadness with the Five of Cups. But there's a light shining down on this understanding of things. And I think that this is what actually caused a good tower moment. And this Nine of Swords, I think, pushed us there. Right? You know, in all different areas of our lives where it's like this feeling where we just can't stand something anymore in whatever way that is. It actually spurred a spiritual awakening, or it is spurring one, / a change in direction with the Seven of Coins. You know, if something goes wrong, do we throw it away or do we just change directions, right? It's not always about throwing everything away the second something happens that we feel. We live in a day and age, we live in a culture, we live in a society that's so fucking flippant and flaky and flip-floppy. 3 F's for you. F. This is the Two of Cups that I want to see and know, right? And this could even just be on a divine level, like this is how we feel inside. Like, look at the difference between this image and this one. This could just be inside of ourselves. Where in this one, we feel torn apart. We're not one. We're pulled in all these different directions for whatever reason, right? But then in this one, we're sharing the beauty of life together. Like, we're looking at the UFOs in the sky. We're talking about, like, oh my God, like, what if we actually came from an ancient civilization? Like, what if we came from Atlantis? Like, what if, what if we are actually star seeds? Like, what if, and it's like understanding those things even within our own selves, as opposed to the word opposed. It's like we're opposed. We're not one. We're not whole within our own selves. So how could we ever expect to be whole with somebody else? Especially if we're playing all these bullshit mind games with people. And this can be in any area of our lives, right? Can I get one more card on this? One closing words, please. I just keep hearing that song. Hurt so good. Sometimes hurts so good with the sun. And the Page of Coins. This is a card of learning. It's like learning to be free again, learning to think for yourself, think for ourselves, learning to be free in the fields of our own conscious minds. Like, look at the difference between this energy, the green, the sky, the child, as opposed to like this. This looks like hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like hell to paradise. And she's one here, right? And it seems almost, it seems ludicrous, it seems even too simple, to be honest with you. Like, what? We can just be childlike, and that's really what's gonna fix things. Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven, to have access to it, this place with the sun and the Page of Coins, to have access to this pleasure in life, this oneness with God and with ourselves, is to become like a child. And the only way to get there is to be like a child. It's the exact opposite of what we've been taught in society, from school, from our parents, from TikTok, on how to like get a girlfriend or whatever, or whoever, whatever, how to seduce a man. Like, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't have its place, right, guys? But at the same time, it's kind of just like, I don't know about you, but I'd rather this. So there's an opportunity for a change in direction. My video, my reading for last week for all the signs talked about the Seven of Pentacles, a change in direction for the full moon in Aquarius. We talked a lot about those themes in that reading. So I feel like this is just like another angle of that. Like, we can free ourselves, Eight of Swords in the reverse, from the devil, whatever this devil is for you, right? I love you guys so much. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here, and I will see